Here we have another video from Meenan Transmissions, 2 locations, one in Willow Grove and one in Lansdale, to serve you. Be reached online at meenantransmissions.com. The transmission we're talking about today is an E40d. It's actually out of a 97 pickup truck. So in 99 they actually changed it to a 40100 transmission. The E40d was the predecessor. Throughout its lifespan they have done some updates and improvements to it. Pretty big trans, pretty hardy, pretty robust, but a lot of the failures that we see with them are torque converter related and also control related. Both of these are addressed when you go through and rebuild them. This one was towed in. You can see that there was an extensive amount of metal in the transmission. It also had a converter code and a slip code. So, you know, when the pan gets loaded up with metal, obviously that gets into the filter, causes a low pressure condition. The converter material also gets into the solenoid assembly, and that solenoid generally is going to be a parts requirement. We're going to need to replace that. It also, the material from the converter got into the pump, and you know, it damages and scores up the pump as well. So in addition to the typical rebuilding items, the calibration updates, we're going to put a billet front converter in it. The converter itself has a front cover that is a billet material. We can see from the discoloration, this is where the converter clutch rides. So this converter clutch had been slipping for quite some time, probably blinking the overdrive light. If this goes this condition goes on without being corrected, it will damage the transmission pretty quickly. Here we have we can see in this drum here, this whole drum is just packed full of metal. So this transmission is going to take an extensive amount of decontamination. We can see that the clutches are actually separating and delaminating, and you know, you can see these clutches are burned up. So in addition to the typical rebuilding items, we're going to do a heavy-duty recalibration update kit that makes it appropriate for diesel application. Going to put a solenoid pack in the transmission because of the level of contamination, metal present. Also going to have to put a pump in it, but we have had the opportunity to take a lot of these units apart from some other remanufacturers, and without question, when we get these things done, they work better, they shift better, and from a durability perspective, a lot of the durability improvements are because of calibration changes. When we make the clutches come on quicker, come on with more hydraulic application pressure, transmission shift timing is better, and if you, like most of these diesel trucks, a lot of guys perform modifications and increasing the power even further, which stresses the transmission. So when you do these updates, modifications, and improvements, you got a transmission that'll be very reliable.